good afternoon. How are you today? I will just wait a sec so everybody can join in, or someone can join in. I have no idea who will come today. So here we are. So now I can see who is with me. No one at the moment. Okay, so maybe I will wait a bit. It's really unusual. So, how was your first weekend with more relaxed rules? Hi Sarah, how are you? How was your weekend? I think this whole situation is really a little bit frightening. I'm a little bit frightening. I don't know how to act, and we as a family, we made the decision we just make it slow. So go shopping once a week, and make a little trip once a week in the daytime where it's not so busy, so we don't see so many people. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. So it's at the moment it's just Sarah, but I think I will start. Today it's about fearnes. What is it? And is it a need to have to be afraid? Yes, it is a need to be afraid. And to be afraid, it's absolutely healthy and good, because it's a basic emotion. And normally this emotion saves us for doing something what's not healthy for us. So falling off a cliff, jumping out of an airplane, drink something we know it's maybe not good for us, or whatever. So totally different things who are important that we don't do this. And to be afraid is this little step to say, okay, I don't do this. It's not good for me. So I think it's really good to be aware that to be afraid, it's nothing wrong. Please, it's nothing wrong. It's just wrong or not healthy for us if this fearness is covering, building a massive brick wall around us so we can't see through. And if it's affecting us so badly that we don't do things that are really good for us. And I think most of you know, and Sarah, I know you know, and I think a few people who maybe will see this video later know this feeling. I know this feeling. I have a history of depression. But I will go into this at the moment, because depression is not really about fearnes, but it's affecting fearnes. One little story how I managed to cope with fearnes. In the beginning, when we lived in Germany, we always been here in Cornwall for our holidays, and we love to go for long walks on the cliff paths, on the coast paths. I'm not panicking about high. I will never jump out of a plane or something like this. This is not my cup of tea. But this is nothing wrong if I don't want to jump out of a plane. But always when we walk this coast path, there have been always areas where I really think, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go there. And always if my family said, oh, let us go on the coast path, I always was saying, oh, I love to, because it's so wonderful out there. But it's still with a pumping heart, it's still sweaty, I'm still really afraid to walk there. But then a friend of mine, she said to me, just listen, and that's something we talk a lot in Jiu-Jitsu about, and also in the Tellington T-Touch method. It's always, hello Michelle, it's always about that we are afraid about something we don't know. That's a lot the case, that we don't know something and then we are afraid about. And that's the same with our animals, or a lot with our animals. And with me, I was afraid about falling down the cliff. Sure, and that's a totally normal feeling. That's nothing wrong with. No one wants to fall down a cliff. Yeah, that's normal. So I start thinking about what needs to be, what would be the case that I could fall down a cliff. Maybe I'm just stupid and walking too close to the hatch. Someone is pushing me. My family don't do this, I hope, and they never have had the plan, so, and they never have done this, so. Someone else will? Maybe the ground is slippery. It's too muddy. We normally don't go if it's too wet, too muddy, if we can slip. Earthquake. Cornwall is not the high-risk place for earthquakes. So, why I'm afraid? I can walk on the inside. I don't need to walk on the outside. So it's my part of protecting myself. We don't go out if it was raining and slippery or it's too windy, too stormy. And it's never ever safe on the coast path. So we don't do this. If someone is coming and passing us, I can do a step again to the inside and wait and let the other pass. I don't need to be the one in action to be outside. I can stay inside and let them pass. So I can do something active to minimize the risk to fall off the cliff. And it cost me 2 years to practice this by thinking before we start walking. And it works. It absolutely works. It was amazing. I'm still not a fan of high, but I can go wherever I want to. And we've been in Wales on high cliffs, high hills. I now can easier walk up stairs where you can look through. You know the stairs in some of the castles also where you walk up and you can look through. It's not the problem to go up, but it's a problem to go down. And all these bits, it's always by, what can I do? And is there really a risk? And for me, one big part also is, if the coast path or these stairs are so dangerous that hundreds of people every day fall down, bunching down the stairs and hurt themselves, then I think that would be closed. No one would be allowed to walk up the stairs or walk the coast path. So enjoy. And I really start enjoying this. And if there is a day where I'm not sure or I'm not in a good mood, then there is a little trick about Jin-Jin-Jitsu. And I know this is it's not an old fearness, it's not an old habit anymore. It's when I'm afraid, then it's something new. Maybe I have had a bad day, or maybe I have had a bad night, so I just don't feel safe in my own body. And then I can just hold my index finger on the right hand. And the right hand feeling of the index finger is fearness. It's a today, it's a now fearness. So I can hold my right index finger to feel safer. And it's always, if we are active, fearness is not so bad than be just standing back and be holding your breath and stop doing things. So in the moment where we can be active, it's a step out of this fearness zone, and this massive wall gets tiny holes, and in the end maybe it's just a fence with a gate. So you can hold the index finger of your right hand for a fearness who is active now. So I'm now afraid about something. If there is a fearness along an old one of generations, then we can do this with the left side. So we can hold the index finger of our left hand. What is it different? My kids now are nearly grown-ups. Hester is nearly 15, Hauke's 22 now. I'm still afraid about them, so it's normal. As a mom, you're always a little bit, but that's normal. But when they've been small and going to school, when I'm it's just one day and I'm just afraid that they are not, our Hester's not coming back safely, because on the island where we lived before, it was windy, it was wet, they're always going by bike by themselves. So, and there are some days where they are out and they are maybe a little bit late from school and it's windy and it's just bad weather and I'm not sure and I feel a little bit unsure and I'm a little bit afraid. That would be the right hand index finger, so I can hold this. When I'm standing every day at the window and waiting for my child to come back from school, because I'm always afraid that something is not okay, that someone is hurting them or something is just wrong, when there is this permanent fearness, then it would be the left hand. So you can maybe see the difference. And in the moment where we accept that there is some fearness in us, and there are always these feelings, because we are human, we are not perfect, and we are not superheroes. Not in the way that superheroes are. And I say superheroes also are a little bit afraid sometimes. To accept that there are things you are afraid about or you don't like, it's absolutely okay. You just need to find out how much is this affecting your day-by-day life. Is it really important if you're afraid about spiders or not? It's not a problem. If you say, okay, there's a spider in the corner of my window, okay, it's fine. I don't need to run out. She don't hurt me. She don't affect me. She's there. And maybe I can ask my husband later to pick her out and get her out. So the spider's not really affecting me. If a big tarantula maybe is crawling over my face at night because I'm somewhere in the jungle, then it's a different cup of tea. So just bring your fearness into a balance, if it's really, really affecting your daily life or it's just by the way. And the just is not, I don't mean the just and it's not important. But how big is this fearness really? Or is it more, again, you don't know what this spider can do to you. I've worked a lot with spiders and reptiles, and I've been around with some guys who do shows with spiders and reptiles, and we have worked a lot with people who are afraid about spiders and snakes and so on. And it was so amazing how people can hold their fearness to protect themselves for something they don't know. And we have talked a lot to the people about the spiders, about the snakes, and are they dangerous or are they not? And if they are dangerous, in what situation are they dangerous? And after a while, the most of the people who said before, oh, hi, hello Anja, hello to Germany, what can happen and in which situation, and they are not in this situation. And if they know more about these animals, then they can cope with it. And we have had a lot of situations where people then first say, oh, I never will touch a snake, never ever. I just need to see a snake in the telly and I'm running away. And in the end of the day, they came back and they've been able to have a snake on their arms or in their hands or just can touch them. And that's massive. That's brilliant. So it's always this fearness about something we don't know. If you are afraid about something, think about how much is this affecting me? Maybe I'm just afraid because I don't know enough about it, or I don't know about this because I don't have the expectation about this. I've never been in this situation. And then find ways to get around this fearness and make new expectations, get new feelings into it. So like me, I'm now absolutely enjoying to be on the coast path and look to wherever and see everything, and to stand there, not totally close, but if there is a fence and I can lean over a bit and I have the feeling it's safe, then I can do it. If I don't feel safe, I don't do it. It's my opinion. It's my thing to do. It's my decision. With our animals, we don't know a lot about our animals because, as I said before, They are different creatures. We don't speak the same language. We don't have the same body language. We don't smell in the same way. We don't see in the same way. We don't listen in the same way. So we are totally different. So it's always a little bit, what can it be? It's we don't know. In the end, we don't know. But with animals, it's sometimes also the same respect, that they are afraid about something. I've worked with a little dog a few years ago. It was on one of my workshops in Germany, and I have made this arrangement with a shelter that we have done first a lot of theory and so on, and then they brought over some animals from the shelter, and we have practiced T-touch on these animals, first to give them a good experience about other people, and also to train ourselves to do the T-touch. And there was a little mixed dog, this size, a tiny nice little girl. And everybody from the shelter, oh, she's such a cute little one. Always, if someone's coming, she's rolling on her back and shows you your tummy, and she wants to have a nice cuddle on her tummy. And I thought, are you sure? Okay, just observation, have a look. What is she doing? How is she acting with the other people in the group? And then I said, okay, maybe we try something different. And we make a little, in one corner, we build like a little security wall out of the back of chairs, and a chair in the corner. And the person who was with her was sitting on the chair, and she was crawling under the chair, totally in the corner. So she really wants to have this safe feeling, surrounded by things, by legs, and in the corner. And I said, she's not this tough, and I don't think this rolling on her back is just because she likes to have cuddles on her tummy. So I was sitting next to her on the floor, but just with the side, and I not look down, look at her, and I just do a few T-touch, just with my fingertips. Just 3-4 minutes, and I stopped again. And she goes more in the corner, and I tried again, just a few touches on her back, where I just can reach her. And then she starts lying on her side. And, hi Karen. And I just could touch one of her paws. And I just done a few T-touch with a finger, with a little bit more pressure, because maybe she was tickling. So just a few more. And she left her paw over there, so I can do more. And I go on the top of the paw, and I've done some gentle T-touch, and I stopped again, and I exhale. And the person on top of the chair said, oh, I should stop talking, stop spending energy into it, just leave her for a sec. And then she rolled a little bit more and stretched her hind leg, so the hind leg came under the chair, out of the chair, so I could reach this paw really easily, and I could hold one paw in the hand, and I could do the T-touch on it. And then I left her. It was really weird. I think a few weeks ago, after this workshop, one of the shelter ladies called me and said, oh, what have you done with our little girl? I said, what have I done? I've just done the T-touch, and you've been with me. Yeah, but now she's not rolling on her back anymore, and she don't like to be touched on her tummy anymore. And now she's sometimes crawling on us because I don't know why. I said, maybe it's because I have accepted her fearnes. She was not rolling on her back because she was so happy to see you and she wants to have her tummy cuddled. No, she was rolling on her back to say, oh, don't hurt me. I'm so afraid. I'm just nice to you. I'm nice to you. If I'm nice to you, you don't hurt me. You are nice to me. I'm fine. I'm really fine. Yeah, it's nice. It's okay. And with giving her this new experience about the T-touch and about respecting her under this chair, hiding under this chair, and going forward and backwards, she has learned to say, okay, I don't need this. And we have done then a few more sessions with her, and I think 2 or 3, and then I got a wonderful call that one of the ladies who was with us in the workshop adopted her because she absolutely fell in love with her. And she asked me what kind of tea touch and what kind of work she can do with her, and so to help her. And she carried on with the tea touch, really gentle. And in the end, it took her, I think, nearly 8 months before this little dog really starts trusting her owner, her new owner. Before she really start relaxing, breathing, enjoying cuddles. So have a look with your animals. If there is some fearnes in your animals, or if you have the feeling there is some fearnes, it can be that there is pain, can be that there are traumas in the body, holding in the cells. It's experience, it's their past, it's their childhood, it's maybe something you have done without recognizing that you have done something, or whatever. But first, if there is some fearness, accept this fearness. They just want to protect themselves. It's the same like us. We want to protect ourselves if we are afraid. So if a dog or a horse or a cat or whatever is afraid about something, or afraid about be touched by you, first respect this feeling. And this is the basic then to change something, to start something new. If you start respecting the feeling of another creature and respecting your own feeling, and then you can change something. And if you want to have a look at an animal where about this right and left side, about the Jinjinjitsu, about the new emotions and the old emotions, then you can have a look. Sometimes you can see this on a body of an animal, just if you have, as I always call them, second-hand animals. So animals out of shelters, or you have bought a horse where you don't know the whole history or whatever. I've worked with an animal, with a dog. She came from Russia, and she has had really, really young puppies, a lot of puppies on the Russian street. She was hit by people. She has had a long journey to Germany, and then she found a wonderful home, a really caring home. But she was always barking, she was protecting really hard, and she was always hard to touch. And I found out she is so much harder to touch on the left side than on the right side. She absolutely can accept. She was accepting the T-touch and Jinjinjitsu on the right side, but not on the left side. On the left side, she wants to snap, she starts growling, she wants to move away. And so I really start working first on the right side, on her good now. She felt safe in her new home. She felt loved in her new home. And then I start working on the right side, and then I moved sometimes over to the left side. So that's why we can do maybe a really gentle zigzag. In the end, or in the time where we stopped doing the one-to-ones, because her owner has a feeling, oh, now I can carry on with the T-touch and what I've learned. She was always protecting, but she was not barking as loud, and it was just a wow wow, and then it was fine. And if her owner said, okay, that's fine, this person it's safe for you, it's safe for me, it's fine, you don't need to bark, then it was fine. In the end, when I was doing the T-touch on her left side, she was still a little bit, I'm not sure, but I know you and I trust you, but there's still something going on the left side. In the end, it was nearly 2 years to the point where she really can accept the same amount of touching on the right and on the left side. But it was so helpful for her, for the owner also, to know this and to realize this, because when she was going to the vet, she was always working with a T-touch on the right side to give her a double good feeling, so she can cope with everything on the left side. She was wearing a muzzle, but it was still not aggression anymore. It was just this tiny bit of fearness and unsure. But it was also the place, the point, the same point again as before. This owner of this wonderful little lady, the first thing was to accept that there is a lot of fearness, a lot of tension, a lot of old memories in this wonderful dog. She never can delete the past, but to bring the past and the present together, that sometimes costs time. And it's, again, it starts with accepting fearness, accepting stories. So, long chat. If you're afraid now, hold your right index finger. If you're afraid about for something long time or it's a long story, then hold the left finger. You can do something. You don't need to stuck in your fearness. That's the first point. Find something to get out of this frozen feeling about fearness. You can hold something. If you know you need to go in a situation you are not happy with, find something to hold in your hand you feel safe, or it's a good memory. So if you have had a stone found on a wonderful beach in a wonderful moment where you feel really, really good, take this stone with you. It's with you so you can have this push of a good feeling, and then it's easier to get over this. But always think about fearness is something totally normal. It's nothing about to be ashamed on. It's nothing about to struggling with more than a need. And if you're afraid about something who is building a brick wall around you, then there is help outside. There are different methods and arts who can help you to find the right way to get out, or maybe build this, I always say, this wonderful fence out of wood with a lot of space and a wonderful gate into it where you can open it and close it. It's fine to have this fence. It's just not good to have a brick wall around you. That's not healthy. So I hope there was one or two ideas or new thoughts about fearness, accepting fearness, way out of fearness, building a fence, not a wall. Yeah, if you like this, if you like my chit chat, come back next week. At the moment, I have no clue what I'm talking about next week, so you will find out tomorrow. Maybe you have written that I can't share anything at the moment in groups, so I'm happy if you can share this post, if you can share my chit chat, if you can share my Facebook page, or if you want to share my website. There are also all these videos on as a blog. So just feel free to do this and help me to reach more people and spread ideas. I don't know everything, but I know a little thing. And maybe we can share this little thing, and maybe this little thing I know can help you to change something. Yeah? So take care of you, and heart hug to all of you, and enjoy your fence. Bye. See you next week. Can't reach that.